Well, all right, guys, how you doing? jpsarrireviews here, and it seems that we are live. And every time we go live, it's kind of weird. Every time we go live, it takes a few seconds to catch on. Like now, you can see that it's catching on the thing. But I want to welcome you all. If you're watching this, thank you very much. If you're taking time to watch this, I truly appreciate it. Welcome to everyone that is watching this live chat, this live show. And as I mentioned before, it's going to be the thing that I'm going to do every week, every Friday. We'll try to keep up on Fridays. And we don't know what the future will bring, so I can talk about collectibles and share with you what I think about it. But in any case, I want to say to all of you, thank you very much. If you're watching this, definitely I want to cover a lot of ground today. And I will have this also, I will have, after this goes live, I will have the timestamp. So make use of that, use that, so that way you can get to the different parts of the video, and then you can, go to the particular collectible that we're going to cover today. Hey, Batman, how you doing? And Mojo Potato, how you doing? Happy Friday to all of you. Thank you for tuning in. I truly appreciate it, my friends. Thank you for your faithfulness and your friendship always. I know that, even if you're not here all throughout the whole video, I still appreciate it. I know that you're, everyone has a life. We all have things to go through. And I'm so glad that, the week is over. It was a really heavy, busy day at work. This job is good. I love the job. I love the people that I work with. I just don't like the commuting part. Elemento, what is that? Element only 08. Welcome, finally Friday. Yes, man, I'm telling you, finally Friday. And the worst part is this. I wake up this morning, I wasn't feeling good. And as many of you know, I've been dealing with a lot of issues with health. I'm still struggling, even though I'm so glad that after they did the endoscopy and the colonoscopy, there's no cancer, none of that. So I'm glad. But still, there's a lot of things that I still deal with. So today I wake up and I was not feeling great, but I have to go to work. We were short staff, so that meant that I have a lot more to do. So I wasn't feeling good. At lunchtime, I went for a walk, came home, not feeling good, and I'm thinking maybe I'm gonna have to cancel this video. But then I said, you know what? Let me go for another walk. So I went for a walk, took a shower, and get back, and I'm straight here. I'm still feeling kind of woozy, but we're dealing with this stuff. And but I'm so happy. I'm glad that it's Friday. And the worst part was that I got home late because I have to commute, and there was an accident on the highway, and I was stuck for an hour in traffic just trying to make it home, and I was not feeling great. And that's the worst feeling, not feeling good, stuck in the car thinking I need to make it home. But it is Friday, man, and I'm so glad. And to be honest with you, there's a lot to talk about. There's a lot of collectibles this week, and a lot of things that I really want to cover. There's different companies doing different things. Some of the biggest companies didn't release much stuff, like Sideshow or XM Studios. Some of the companies that I normally talk, even Iron Studios, didn't have any releases as far as I know. But I think every company is releasing some good stuff, and I want to cover all of that today. I think, I think it's good to know. Some companies are normally you don't hear much about it, but I think they're producing some good stuff, and some stuff that I want to point out that I'm not too crazy about, and I want to point it out today. But yes, for those who are watching this in the future, if you're not able to watch this live, follow the timestamps, and that will lead you to the place where you need to go if you're only interested in a particular collectible. So in this video today, I want to start first. I want to kind of give you an idea with the pretty much the thumbnail. I try to put a lot of images of stuff that we're going to cover today. Normally, I'm not as good with in this case with the thumbnail. I didn't know how to do it. I'm trying to improve the thumbnails for the future, so they're not look as crowded, like a collage of a lot of things, because there's so much to talk about. So in this video today, I want to talk about and the action figures. I want to start with action figures. We're going to move on with scales. I want to talk about NECA, the newest stuff that NECA just released, the Defenders of the Earth, the Series 2, the Wave 2. I'm a big fan of the Defenders of the Earth, and definitely love NECA, so I'm going to talk about it. That's the first thing we're going to cover. I want to talk about Threezero Roadblock. Just came out for action figure collectors, 1/6 scale collectors. Roadblock is the announcement. Really excited for that one. I have I have in this case, I have already Storm Shadow. I do have what is that? Snake Eyes, but I still need to review them. I haven't even opened the boxes, but as soon as I get the chance, I'm going to cover them here. I want to talk about the Sideshow Collectibles, the new 1/6 scale Yoda, based, of course, on the Clone Wars. People happy for that. It looks good. It's a small figure for sure, but definitely looks cool if you're a fan of that. We're going to talk about Hot Toys. They have the 1/6 classic Loki, of course, from the Loki TV show. Looks really sick for 1/6 collectors. That's on the pretty much on the action figure stuff we're going to talk about today. Then we're going to move on to First4Figures. They release a 1/6 scale Darksiders Death. It's on pre-order right now. They have it at Sideshow, but also they have it at the website, and they have an exclusive version at the website, 2 different versions at the website that looks really cool. We're going to look at that. We're going to talk about Tsume Art. I think people are excited with Tsume Art. Now with the DC stuff, now they finally released the Joker. They were talking about it for quite some time. It looks massive as a 1/6 scale diorama. It's already sold out at the website, but you're going to be able to find it in different places. Besides, of course, the website no longer available there. But it looks really cool, and there's a lot to talk about it, about that piece. I want to talk about, in this case, on the 1/4 scale, we're going to talk about PCS. They just released the Poison. It was previously part of the Hugo combo, the bundle, but now they decide to release it as a standalone piece. I already talked about that Poison. We're going to talk about it today because I think it's a phenomenal piece. We're going to talk about gaming heads. I haven't talked about gaming heads, I think, maybe once since I started the channel. But I want to cover that. They release a new 1/4 scale, a 1/4 scale Master Chief. And of course, you're a Halo fan. You're going, it's important to talk about that one. We're going to talk about Pure Arts. We're going to talk about Pure Arts because they have the new Animus 1/4 scale Cassandra. This is something that they've been doing. Pure Arts has been doing all the, in this case, the Assassin's Creed collection. We're going to cover that. Then we're going to talk about Queen Studios. I want to talk about the Loki statue that just came out for sale. Looks phenomenal. At first, when I saw it, I thought it was made out of, they was, in this case, the silicone stuff, but it's made out of polyresin, which is amazing. But it does have rooted hair, which I really don't know how they're going to handle the whole thing. I think the body, the face is sculpted. I don't know if it's silicone, but it looks sick. We're going to talk about it. Then we're going to talk about Prime1 Studio. Prime1 Studio, and the 3rd scale, they just released because on the 10th anniversary, their celebration, they have a new Berserker Armor Bloody Nightmare version, which looks interesting. It already have the regular version. Now there's a new, alternate version for those who are fans of that, and they would like to have this one. And also, I want to talk about Bloodsport. That will be the last piece that we're going to cover today. Definitely, there's a lot to talk about it, and let's start from the beginning. But before we get into it, again, I want to say thank you very much for your support. Thank you for sticking with me and helping me grow this channel. Share this video with your friends, and welcome to all of you. So first, let's start with, and at any moment, if you decide you want to share, don't forget, you can share. Tell me how you feel about the stuff we talk about today. Give me your opinion. We can have this conversation here back and forth. That's the reason I'm here, just so we can have a conversation. So let's get into it. And for that reason, and I'm going to go this first to, and here, of course, you can see my stuff there. But let's go first to, I want to go, and as I mentioned, I want to go to and let me just, I'm telling you, I need to get a new screen here. Let's go to Neca. Neca Toys. And I want to show you Neca online. We're not going to the Neca store. I don't like the Neca store. It's definitely not that great. But the internet's a bit slow right now for some reason. Always when you're trying to do something, but they have a new alien stuff. We're gonna not cover the alien stuff, something that they always do. But I want to talk about this King Features 7th scale. This is what we are covering, and we're waiting for this to load. But I want to talk about it because definitely these figures are super interesting, as you can see, and we're gonna look at the pictures here. All right, I love the pictures here. And as you can see, I love these figures. Of course, if you, back in the 80s, these characters have been forever. In this case, Mandrake, Lothar, there's a big part of that. There was the helper of Mandrake. Those characters have been in comics forever, in the pretty much in the newspapers, all of that. But the Defenders of the Earth was kind of like a reshape of that, a more modern version. I love the cartoon, one of my favorite cartoons of the 80s. And to be honest with you, being able, we'll talk about it in a moment. But what is really, I really love this figures because, you know, again, I'm a big fan. And I will see that actually Mandrake has this cape, which it seems like to be... I would love for that, actually, instead of having this cape, like just this cloth cape, it would be better if it was more like a plastic cape. I think just for, you know, for that to last longer in this small figure. Now, the figures look really good. I love the TV show. Iron Studios is producing the statues in 110. They have the... which to me, the Phantom looks amazing. And definitely I want to get that as soon as it comes out. But these figures look really, really great. Now, for this to be available, of course, you have to find them. You can pre-order. I think Big Bad Toy Store right now has them on and pretty much on pre-order. You can pre-order some of them, as I think the bundle. We're going to look at the website in just a moment. But the figures look really, really good, in my opinion. They look really great. I love Mandrake. I love that portrait that he has. It's a beautiful portrait for sure. It's well done. The paint job, of course, a prototype comes with the hands, the weapons. And I'm glad that they're doing this. You know, there were some issues with Flash, Flash Gordon, and also with the Phantom, and I think with some of the articulation, the hands, things like that, some of the quality control. But for the most part, the figures have done really, really well. And unfortunately, you have to go to Target, and trying to find them at Target is always a pain in the butt. You know, it's like my Target. I only have one Target here in town. And every time I go to that Target, sometimes you cannot find anything. It's hard to find something. You have to kind of, you know, you miss a lot of things. And sometimes they have some peg warmers. They have some figures that they're always there. But, and definitely, I forgot the name of this guy. This is the villain guy. But he looks really good too. I remember in the notes. But man, I love the paint job they did with this figure. Really, really good. And look at Lothar. Definitely looks great. Looks great. Love the paint job, the greens, all that. This is a really nice figure. These figures are nice, and they're not on the cheap side. And I know this is amazing. You know, I collect figures as well. If you follow me on Instagram, you know that I like to share a lot of figures. But I'm telling you, a lot of these figures are coming out so expensive. Some of these figures are like $30-some, $35 at Target. To me, it's like, how is it that the figures have come to a place where everything is so expensive? Even some figures like Super 7 that's easily $50, $55. To me, that's just like crazy. It's insane. And I know a lot of times people complain about the prices going up on everything, but you know, like I know statue collectors complain, and I complain as a statue collector. But when I look at the figures, these figures, man, I'm amazed about the prices. Like a regular, like for example, like in this case, Marvel Legends, they're like in $25 easily now. I think some of them even almost $30 or past $30 with taxes if you go to some places like GameStop. To me, it's like insane what the figures people are asking for these figures, which in the end, some people will consider cheap goods. But to me, I love the figures. You know, something that the reason why I'm a statue collector is because back in the day, I collected a lot of these figures. I think, you know, in part of it, you know, we kind of love these figures, or we are into statues or even the 1/6 scale action figures because ultimately, you know, we have this love for stuff from childhood. So, you know, these figures look really great, and in my opinion, they're good. So I'm looking forward to it, and hopefully I can catch them, you know, on a Target. If not, it will be very likely on Big Bad Toy Store. So let me show you Big Bad Toy Store because that'll give you an idea if they have it. Of course, Big Bad Toy Store always has a lot of stuff. Here you can see, you know, they also now having, you know, statues and all that. Look at the prices. Like, for example, this skin features, you have Garax. That's the name. I forgot. Garax is the name. $37.99. $38 plus tax is $40 for this figure. And it's not a big figure. You know, it's a 7-inch figure. And if you buy them all, it's $109. That's the pre-order. And for the whole bundle, they don't have in, you know, separate. They sell them as a bundle here at Big Bad Toy Store. So the only option is buy them here as a bundle, $110. Or go to Target and find them, you know, by the grace of God, you're able to find them. So those are the things that you have to consider. You know, is it worth it? You know, like, is it worth it to do that? Who knows? But in any case, I think these figures look amazing. And whoever catch them, you know, if you're able to add them to your collection, definitely you're going to have something beautiful there. I think they're amazing. They're amazing figures for sure. So that's it. You know, that's it for NECA figures for now. Let's move on. And I want, again, like I mentioned early, I want to cover, let's go to Threezero. And for that reason, I want to come to Sideshow Collectibles because this is the place where we're going to find them easily. So we're coming to Sideshow. And here we're going to talk about Yoda in just a moment. So let's come to here to latest releases. And there's a lot of stuff. I'm telling you, there's a couple of stuff that is also coming to Sideshow. They have, for example, the Batman, the Batcave, now available for pre-order at Sideshow for those who are interested on getting this Batman. So I know a lot of people are excited for that one. That's good news in some way. They have this Ochako Uraka. If you're a fan of the, in this case, the, what is that? The, I forgot. Hero Academia, then, you know, definitely that's a good one. So, but this is the thing. Let me see. Trying to find it. When you're doing stuff live, definitely you're going to risk sometimes making some mistakes for sure. So here's Roadblock, which is $169 here at Sideshow, which I don't think is a good price. Now, this one is going to release, according to this, between December and February of 2023, which in my opinion is good. It's not bad. I'm going to take myself out of the pictures so you can see this better. And let's look at the pictures here. And I'm telling you, man, Roadblock looks really, really, really good in my opinion. Looks great. Looking at all the parts, I definitely like this piece. I definitely love this stuff, you know, and I'm telling you, I need to review the other ones. There's plenty of reviews you can actually go, you know, online you can look at. But these figures look really, really good. And I really love what, in this case, this company is doing here, Threezero, with the G.I. Joe. The only thing that I will complain is the fact that the figures do not have bases. That's the only thing that they don't come up with. I don't know if this one will have it, but Snake Eyes doesn't have it. Also, Storm Shadow doesn't have it. And that's a complaint. Now, if there's another thing that I can complain, I love that it has the seamless, in this case, articulation on the elbows, which is super cool. So I like that in this 1/6 scale figures. I don't like to see articulation in this big figures. I'm okay with the articulation in small figures, but not in this big figures in 1/6 scale. And in most cases, you know, the companies hide it with the clothing, all of that. In this case, it's naked arms. So it looks really, really good. I love what they did here. Now, if there's something that I would say with the portrait, he looks older than what I envision of Roadblock. I would love to see him in more like a younger version of Roadblock. He looks like up there in age, like he's in his 50s or something, or 60s. That's how he looks like, in my opinion. Of course, I may be wrong. This is the way I see it. But it looks really good. And I feel that I think it needs more like of a bigger body frame. It feels like it probably is going to be on the same height of Snake Eyes and the same height of Storm Shadow, which in my opinion, Roadblock is always a bigger guy. He's a bigger dude. So that's the only thing. Of course, there's no comparison here. I didn't see any pictures where they were comparing the scales or the sizes or the height. So that would be the only thing. But I do love all the different extras that come with it. I love, of course, he's carrying all that gear. And of course, the handgun, all of that. Now, I will tell you one thing. I'm looking at the figures, and you know, I'm seeing the figures from Threezero. They are really cool. There's a lot of cool things in the design, but at the same time, I will tell you this: they are not at the same level of Hot Toys. They are really cool, but not at the same level quality-wise. They are amazing. You know, I will tell you. I think from this is in the Storm Shadow, between Storm Shadow and Snake Eyes, I prefer Storm Shadow. I love the way they did that figure. The body looks better than Snake Eyes, and I think this Roadblock looks amazing too. It has more detail, but I feel that quality-wise, they're not yet where they need to be in comparison to Hot Toys. They look amazing. Hey, statue Habit 71. Hey, what's up? I'm doing really good, man. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for tuning into the video. So I'm telling you this. I love this figure. I don't know what you think about these figures. I don't know if you're a fan of Threezero, if you are a fan of this, you know, this figure, but I love that. Of course, I love the heavy gun, the machine gun that he's carrying, the helmet, all of that. Definitely, this is going to be an addition. And stay tuned. Definitely, I will tell you, stay tuned for what, you know, in this case, when I get the chance to do that. But yeah, guys, I will tell you, definitely, and I will say all of you, thank you very much for tuning in. I love what they're doing with that figure. I'm telling you, I think Threezero is a company that deserves attention, and they're doing the same thing with the Power Rangers. I think those figures look amazing too, but I'm not really a Power Rangers fan, so it's not something that I care much about. So it is what it is. But yeah, this is what we have right now. And it said right there, born 1990, G.I. Joe just a little before my time. Yes, you know, this is what happened. If you're an 80s kid, you know, I was born in 1978. And because I was born in 1978, of course, I get the chance still to kind of dive into all the early 80s stuff. So I grew up in my opinion, of course, everybody has an opinion. In my opinion, the best era for toys. Of course, you're talking about, the Masters of the Universe, the G.I. Joe, Transformers. What else? There were like so many different toy lines back then. The Ghostbusters. Man, I'm telling you, there's so many stuff that I can just forget. There were so many toy lines during that time that to us was, it was important. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, all of that. It was, it was a great time, for toys. And I think I have carried that love for toys as a statue collector and a figure collector over the years. I carry that love for those franchises. And to me, they never die. There's something that, you see everything that I do. It's just because of that. Yeah, G.I. Joe and He-Man were my first ever action figures I got as a kid. Yeah, there was, I have so many great memories with the G.I. Joes. I think G.I. Joes were such a important. MASH, for example, that was another one. There was toys. I remember like G.I. Joe, we played with so many kids, and the toys were just like little, but G.I. Joe, of course, what was that? Star Wars figures as well. They have so many great memories. And to me, I think you wanted to have them all because there were so many different figures. You wanted to collect them all. And I think because of that, now as an adults, we brought that desire as children to have all these toys. And as a collectors, and statues or even, high-end action figures, now we're collecting them because, it's all something that comes from childhood for sure. So, it is what it is. As I know the people that follow this channel, I have this different generations. But a vast majority of the people that follow me, and I look at the numbers, of course, based on the ages of the people and the demographics. Most people are around my age, within the 30s, their 40s, all the way till the 50s. So it's a group that we can say people from the 80s. It's a lot of people, also people from the 90s. Hey, how you doing? Late night trip. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for coming to see me today. I appreciate it. I appreciate the support. So I think, it's what it is. So I want to show you now. I want to go to, now that we're here, I want to move to the next one in the list. And for that, I want to move to Sideshow. So I want to move to this new Yoda. Let's see if we can get it. I think it was on the first page. I want to look at this new Yoda because I think, if you're a big fan, I know, of course, you already have the Obi-Wan. Of course, you see the Obi-Wan Kenobi, the Anakin Skywalker. Of course, these are produced by Sideshow. These are not produced by Hot Toys. And to be honest with you, I'm glad that they're producing them because, to be honest with you, and this is $165, I will tell you, because he's so small, the price I think is fair, but still is Yoda scale, Yoda size. So Yoda's such a small figure. This is a small figure. Of course, he has articulation, all of that. And this is going to release sometime between December of this year and March of next year. I love that they are using the Clone Wars design. Now, if you need to compare this with in this case, with what Hot Toys does, I gotta be honest with you. Hot Toys is a much better level, quality-wise, than what Sideshow does. So I'm glad that because every time that they release figures for Star Wars, to be honest with you, there can be a hit or miss, and most of the time it's something that is missing out of those figures, where there's a couple of things where the likeness is not 100%, or people, when you make comparisons, Hot Toys has been in this business doing these figures for a long time. Of course, Sideshow also has been doing figures for a long time. If you remember back in the day, they were doing all of the G.I. Joe stuff, a lot of figures. That's how they started technically doing, figures, dolls and then figures. So, but they never been able to match the same quality as, in this case, Hot Toys. So I will tell you, the fact that they decided, instead of just competing and trying to make a Yoda based on the movies or based on the real, character or whatever, they decide to use the Clone Wars. I think it works best because it's a more cartoony style, so they're able to deliver on that. So you can see it here. So this is has the cartoony 3D element of the show. And to me, that looks pretty good. I like it. I think Yoda looks great as it is. Price-wise, I would be happy if it was cheaper, but ultimately I know it's the product, and at the end is Yoda, so it's going to sell. So it comes with accessories, looks really neat, and the only thing I would say, the expression on the face is the same, but I love that what they did with the clothing and all that looks pretty neat. It's not bad. It's a nice figure. You know, if you're into this type of figures, it's good. You know, he has his, you know, all his clothing. You know, they use this cloth, all material. It looks pretty good. His little cane. So again, this is a 1/6 scale. So thinking about Yoda, it's gonna be a small figure for sure. And here you can see the different hands that it comes with. It's simple, but it's cool. And look at him in the eyes, looks really neat. And here's a comparison scale-wise, right next to, you know, Obi-Wan and Anakin. So this is the thing. I like the fact that they're doing that. I definitely do like the fact that Sideshow's doing this instead of just trying to do just based on the films. Because on that, you know, they never really nail it as well as Hot Toys does. So this is a good place for them to be. And I know some people will love to see other characters, of course, of the Clone Wars also in this collection. So they're coming, you know, but at least we have Yoda, which is good. You know, that's a good thing. So it could be better, it could be worse. Now, here we see Yoda. Yep. That's the Clone Wars today, right? Yep, that's the Clone Wars. That's based on the Clone Wars. Yeah, Joe was so awesome. My favorite toy was the chopper with Will Bill. Yeah. You know, this is the thing. There were so many toys, and just recently what Hasbro did, kind of the retro thing. What was that? HasLab did the, you know, what was that? The big plane, all that. I forgot the name of that. But in any case, they did it. I didn't get a chance to pre-order anything. I wasn't working at that moment, so I couldn't afford it, so I didn't do it. But it's just so the things that I remember as a kid playing with other kids. And I think the coolest kids were, and I never had the whole G.I. Joe collection. I wish I had, you know, but some other kids, man, they managed to have all the toys, and it was fun. You know, playing with G.I. Joe, I remember playing with other kids, go and playing in the sand. And making all this, you know, the castle and all that kind of stuff, playing in the sand with a lot of kids. So, you know, back in the day, we didn't take care of a lot of that stuff. But, you know, it was fun to play with those things. So, you know, have great memories. And G.I. Joe, and definitely it's a big part of childhood. So every time I get a chance to collect anything that is based on G.I. Joe, I get the chance. And I was collecting at some point some of those action figures from Sideshow, but I got rid of them years ago. But definitely they were fun. But I think now the figures are coming out are much better, of course, you know, with articulation and all of that. So, you know, things progress, you know, things change, you know, some things improve. So this is what we have. So now let's move in the action figures. I want to talk about Hot Toys. You know, I want to talk about the newest figure that they just released, and I've seen a lot of people talking about. And this is the classic Loki, based on the Loki TV show, the older version of Loki. And I'm telling you, it is impressive. It is impressive. $285. This is going to release sometime between April and September of next year. Of course, that is always subject to change. But I'm telling you, I don't remember the name of this actor, so forgive me if I forget. But the likeness with the character, when the actor is so good, so good. This is the thing when I'm telling you, this is the part, and I'm sorry, I'm not even there. Sorry very much. It's very, you know, here we can see this figure looks really, really good, as you can see in the face. Love the portrait. Love what they have done with the figure. You know, this is the thing where I will say, when you're, like I was telling you earlier, when you compare Sideshow figures or Threezero figures to Hot Toys figures, it's just the likeness. And of course, we now know, you know, when they have new competition with Queen Studios coming into the fray, also J&D coming very soon. So there's competition, you know, Blitzway also, you know, there's competition. But regardless of that competition, Hot Toys still at the top of the food chain. And they have more licenses than everybody else. You know, some companies are going to have a hard time trying to get to, you know, they maybe capitalizing with some, you know, I would say with Queen Studios, capitalizing with the DC, but they don't have the Marvel license. And we don't know when they're going to have it. It depends on how successful they are in their business endeavors. They have, of course, you know, the ability to do stuff with DC because DC allows more companies to try new things. That's what DC has been doing lately. But Marvel is a more finicky market, you know, and when some of these big companies already have an international license, then definitely is a lot of competition. But this classic Loki, man, looks good. That portrait, and I love the fact that it comes with different portraits. And of course, some people may not like the fact of the figure and the way the body, but it looks like the guy in the TV show. So he's kind of like, you know, funky looking, you know, it's just so it is. It has the classic outfit, all of that. but the portraits made with a different face and expressions, man, it's so good. This is not for everyone. This is definitely for the hardcore fan of the Hot Toys, the one that has all the Hot Toys and wants to have everything. And that is for the hardcore. But regardless, I think it's a super cool looking piece. And look at the different expressions. It looks so realistic. And it makes you forget sometimes that you're looking at just at a figure. Of course, you know, you can see for the body type that it's a figure. But that portrait, and look at that smile. This is the thing, what I'm telling you, man. Don't discount Hot Toys as a company that knows how to do certain things. And of course, some people always been asking for years. They always ask for this figure, that figure, the figure. They're always gonna be that. You know, I even see that with right now with the Queen Studios, the new page that they have on Facebook for figures. People always requesting. They come to that and they inundate with requests about every single thing you can think of. And to me, it's like, okay, you can request as much as you like, but ultimately, it's all about the big money if they're able to, you know, to pay for those big licenses. But it's cool, you know, it's cool to make those requests. But look at that expression and that face, man. It's super, super cool and scary looking too, in the sense that how realistic it looks in a figure. So yeah, I'm telling you, it looks great, you know. I'm impressed with Hot Toys and what they're doing here. This is a really nice looking figure. For sure. And also it comes, of course, with the Gator Loki. I think also there's another version, the Loki version. There's two different versions of Loki also for this TV show. And they also, I think they come with a gator. So, and then you have, you know, Thor, you know, Thor frog or whatever. I forgot how they call it. Throg. It's there. So it's cool. Nice looking figure. Not for everyone, but definitely for those that they want to have it all. If you're one of them as a Hot Toys collector, then definitely this is something worth checking out. It says, Jojo was so awesome. It said, I love a punk Creel. Yeah. Yeah, that'd be cool too. But yes, guys, you know, I'm telling you, that definitely Hot Toys is a company that it impresses me. I love to, you know, I'm not really a heavy Hot Toys collector. I'm starting to collect figures once again. And there's a lot of things that I'm really looking forward to this year for Hot Toys. And there are a couple things, figures that I would like to add. But I'm not really a heavy Hot Toys collector. My main thing has always been statues, but I'm right now diving into other things. It's just the fun of it, you know. To me, it's about having fun with this stuff, and I'm getting a place in my life where I'm not as concerned much, you know. I got to the point that I always want to recommend people to have an idea, have a plan, have a goal, a purpose. In any collection, you want to have a plan. But I still believe that, you know, sometimes you just have to let, you know, go with your heart and things that you do. You know, at the end of the day, is your collection. Have fun with it. Don't let it just get don't get so attached to things that you miss the opportunity to enjoy life. But it's important to have fun. You know, at the end of the day, have fun. You know, because life is short. You know, we all have an allotted time, and as long as we're living, you know, we want to have fun, but don't let that become an obsession. You know, that's something that I have to be careful, and I think everybody has to be careful. So that's it. You know, we're talking about the figures now. Going back to the figures. That was the advice of the day. But let's move into statues. Let's move into statues, because I know some of you that are watching right now, you're a statue collector. So let's get into that. And I want to cover First4Figures. I think this is a company that I'm impressed. Now, First4Figures, and that's the reason why we're going to go to the website. I want to go to the website because I want to show you what they have there. That, in my opinion, it's really good. Of course, First4Figures is a company that has been in business for quite some time. Not everybody loves First4Figures for some reason. You know, a lot of times this has to do with, you know, back and forth with, in this case, with the company. Some people, you know, and I'm here at the website here. And so that has to do with the owner. Some people don't, I think Alex is the owner. And some people, sometimes they don't get along. Alex can have a strong personality, that's for sure. In the way he does things, but everyone is different. You know, as a company, they believe in their product, they believe what they do, and sometimes people can be a bit extreme, you know, in the way they handle things. I noticed that in social media, sometimes people want things done their way, and it's no way, you know. And the thing is this, you know, when you're talking to people in these companies, I think respect goes a long way. It's important to be respectful, and sometimes you have issues. Yes, everybody has issues, but you know, there are venues to go around it, and one of those venues is to, you know, call customer service. You know, first thing you got to do, call customer service instead of just trying to go online and trying to make a big fuss about things. Like John Doe at the Facebook group is not going to do anything for you. I'm telling you, this is something that I got to give you. This is my advice too. Now, technical advice. John Doe on the website, on your friends, your buddy from Facebook is not going to do anything for you if you have a problem with a QC with a company. You have to go to the company and says, hey, I have this problem, and do it in a respectful way. Respect goes a long way. That's the bottom line. If you're respectful with people, they will come your way and they will help you. They'll go the extra mile for you. But if you come with an attitude, say, well, calling that stuff crap, and you come to the crying out on Facebook and saying that everything is crap, then you're gonna get some backlash from the company. They might just get so angry. Depends on the personality. Some people can deal with it. Some people know how to deal with customer service. Some people don't. And it's like, you know what? Just, I will give you your refund. Give the stuff back. That's it. And then you're out of luck. You have nothing. So, sometimes it's better just to play along. Not saying that you have to be a fool. And sometimes people, if they want to take advantage of you, I'm sorry, but you're going to have to fight for your rights. But it's important to, to also be respectful. But here you can see, let's talk about this now. Let's talk about these pieces. We have 3 different statues here, or 3 different versions. The regular version, this is and they are right now, because they have like a time frame. If you pre-order in the next, I think 10 days, within 10 days, they'll give you some discount. So as you can see, the price difference there's a discount rate. I think $25 discount. But the thing is this, you have the standard edition, which is the one that is available at Sideshow, and only at Sideshow. And then you have the other 2 versions are only available here. We have the definitive edition and the exclusive edition. Now let's look at the definitive edition, which is $624.99 right now. As you can see, the standard is $579 and the exclusive is $599. So let's look at the definitive edition, because it's the one that has everything that I want to show you here. And you can see right now it's 9 days. That's the early bird pre-order, so you get some discount. So now let's look at the pictures. Now I'm telling you, this piece, in my opinion, looks really, really good. Now, as you can see right there, this is really good. Now, the definitive edition comes with extra weapons. You don't only have the dual sights, which is the one that comes with the regular, and it comes with the exclusive. But the definitive edition comes with extra weapons here, or extra blades that he's carrying, which is really, really cool. Really like that idea. Also, it comes with the light up feature in the eyes and also in his chest, the marking in his chest. If you're a big fan of Darksiders, they already have War, which is, in my opinion, is an amazing looking piece. Some collectors are already getting that one. It's already arriving to collectors. It looks amazing. So this, in my opinion, is a great addition to War for sure. But that looks really, really good if you're a big fan of the video game. So here is, of course, the definitive edition with those extra hands only on this version. And the light up feature also comes on the exclusive, which is the second version. Those 2 versions, definitive and exclusive, are only available here at First4Figures, the First4Figures official website. But looks really good, man. I'm telling you, this is a 1/6 scale piece. I think price-wise, some people say it's too expensive, but you have to think about, this is polyresin, this is polystone, and I love the detail on this figure. It has a lot of detail, and that it really adds up to the price. But look at that. Really looks really, really neat. Neat for sure. And the light up feature, to me, that's a selling point. Here you can see a comparison on the scale. They use these cans just to give you an idea of the scale. The light up feature right there on his chest, on this marking, and his eyes look very sick for sure. And I'm telling you, looks really, really good. So here, technically there, on this definitive version, they're only showing you these pictures. Here is actually the size that actually the blades, the regular blades that come also on the regular. So let me show you this. Let me go back and show you this. So that gives you an idea of the exclusive version. $599.99, I think it's not a bad price at all. Also, you get the discount and all of that. Here you can see this is this comes with the regular. The difference between the regular and this one is that the regular doesn't have a light up feature, but the exclusive has light up feature and it has these blades. I would say the definitive edition is the best because you get the extra blades, the extra hands. In my opinion, that's the way to go. But regardless, this gives you an idea how it is with these blades, which in my opinion are amazing too, and they're gonna display really nice. It is a nice figure for sure. I like it. I think First4Figures, sometimes I don't get the chance to talk about a lot of the stuff they produce, but in my opinion, they do produce amazing looking stuff. And look at the details in the armor. that is a very nice piece for sure. And that's all that detail. The paint job is nice. Again, I'm telling you, I've seen War, and work looks really, really good. So to me, that is good. You know, it's good that we have that. So I will tell you, pay attention to First4Figures as a company. I think they always do good stuff. If you're into the gaming world, if you like gaming franchises, in my opinion, they're the best because that's what they concentrate on. They concentrate on those licenses, and in my opinion, they do a phenomenal job for sure. So that's First4Figures. So now I want to move on. You're not trying to, you know, to be on time on this. I want to talk about Tsume Art. You know, Tsume Art, it's a company that I have talked about it many, many times on this channel. And I love what they do. I love Tsume Art. Anything that has to do with the anime stuff, amazing looking stuff. You know, I know sometimes they, you know, if you follow, particular web, you know, in this case, Facebook groups where they cover a lot of the anime stuff, a lot of the Dragon Ball stuff and stuff like that, there's always going to be a lot of criticism towards Tsume Art. Some people, particularly people that they are supporters of custom, you know, makers, unlicensed products, are always going to criticize. And I've seen a lot of people copying in the style. Some of these unlicensed companies in China copying a lot of the stuff that Tsume Art does. But to be honest with you, Tsume Art is on a level of its own. You know, it's not comparable. No matter what people say, it's never going to be the same quality. It doesn't have the same head. It doesn't have the same art that Tsume Art produces. You know, and of course, there's going to be haters and naysayers and all that. And it has to do with that factor. But I'm telling you, I think as a company, they are doing amazing. And I want to show you that. I want to really show you what Tsume Art is doing. So I'm coming to the website. And I'm going to show you right here. We're here at the website. And I will tell you, Tsume Art is a company. It's amazing. Here, they sold out, of course. But you can go. I think you might find it right now if you're interested on this piece at Spec Fiction. So we're going to try to get this one. Hopefully we can get there. Yeah, we get there. So, you know, here on the website, they have all this stuff, which in my opinion is cool. You have this video presentation. There's the two different versions. This is the limited edition, only 300 pieces worldwide. And as you can see on this presentation, it comes with the hyenas. This is technically the Joker escaping Arkham with the help of Harley Quinn. So we're going to look at these pieces here. Look at this one. It is huge. But looking at all the pictures, I'm so impressed with what they have done. I will tell you, when I talk about Batman, I talk about it here on the channel. I like Batman. It has a cartoony style. All this is based on the art of Jim Lee, according to the description here on the website. So they're using that. It does have so much. And I was thinking that the problem that I have with that there's, you know, it's huge. You know, it's a huge diorama with so much stuff going on in there. And I know some people may not like that. But to me, I do like the presentation with the Joker. And yes, I know that this is not for everyone. If you like simpler depictions, you're going to be in love with this. But if you love the more complicated stuff, you know, you love statues that have a lot of stuff going on, you love this because at the end, it's a diorama. And it's good that they name it a diorama instead of a statue because it's a diorama. It has a story. It's telling you an event. It's really cool. This one, I like what they did, of course, with the laughing gas going all over. He's pretty much defeating those poor cops trying to escape. You know, he's escaping Arkham for sure. You know, that in this case, you see that balloon right there with the face of Harley. And you can see the base, what they did with the laughing. You know, pretty much they wrote the laugh around it, which is a nice touch. And the back of that door, Arkham's, you know, the sign on top of that door, all of that, man, the gates, it looks really, really good. And look at that, even the power, you know, all of that. It's just the fans. That is just so much detail. And again, this is not for everyone, but this is for a collector that wants to have something that is very unique in style. It's so unique. And again, some collectors may find it too much, you know, with so much stuff going on. But it's so unique and beautiful. And here, the hyenas come with this limited, this version, with this 300, the version that has only 300 pieces. Those hyenas, man, look really neat. There's two hyenas. You see the symbol in the back, the graffiti. It looks good. And man, what I love about this is this poor cops, man. The detail on this one, he's being hit by that. Man, that hurts. But look at him, his face. Look at this angle of the Joker. Look at the face of this poor guy. Man, he is definitely there. Feel bad for him. That hyena, man, the detail, the paint job here is amazing. The detail on the base. Look at this. The little hyenas there. Wow, I didn't notice now. Look at the camera. There's a camera right there. There's attention to detail for sure. Look at the face of that cop back there. Amazing. Do not enter danger. Such an amazing looking piece for sure. Every detail. I'm just impressed by it for sure. Look at that. Look at that. And here's a scale with this guy. And of course, you know, being Tsume art in this picture, you can see some aspects of that. It tells you that it's going to be made out of different materials. So some stuff is going to be, this is what, you know, in this case, Tsume does. Some stuff is going to be polyresin. resin. Some stuff is going to be PVC. Some stuff is going to be ABS, you know, plastic, all of that. But it's just, and they're saying that they're still going to do some adjustments to it for the final product. But look at the size, the sheer size of this piece. It is huge and it's amazing looking. This piece has presence. When people say, oh, 1/6 doesn't have presence, it's because they haven't seen pieces like this. This has a lot of presence, as you can see right next to the guy. It just tells a story. And, you know, to be honest with you, I don't like super busy statues, but the way they did it here is so well done that I like it even more than the Batman. I do like it more than the Batman. And here, of course, we're getting to see more pictures. They have a lot of pictures. And all of them is stuff that we have seen. But that gives you an idea. Let me try to see if we can come up to a place where there is a comparison to other things. Because I saw some comparisons. And I think we're too far from it. This is the only thing I don't like about the website. Is that they have enough pictures. But they do like a loop. And everything repeats itself. Like you're going back to the beginning. And you're looking at the same thing. Now this is just the other version. There's 500, the deluxe regular, and that's 500 pieces on that one. This is the only thing I will say I don't like about the limited edition, is the fact that I wish, this is me, I wish that you were able to actually replace them, like, you know, not replace them, but you have interchangeable Jokers. That would been nice for a particular version. So that's the only thing, that you would have to buy one version over the other. Because this version 2, it's pretty neat. And here you can see. This is just with the classic outfit. I like that one too, but that one doesn't have the graffiti in the back and doesn't have the hyenas. So there's some things that are missing here that ultimately is just what you prefer. But everything else is the same. If you like, to be honest, I'm kind of torn because I like both. I like the hyenas, but also I like the classic outfit over the pretty much the Arkham pretty much overall. And I feel bad for this poor cop right there covered by that. You know, you don't see his face. He's just gone. He's a goner for sure. He's a goner by now. But this is cool too. Now the graffiti in this one is in the back, pretty much here in the back instead of being on the front. So that's a different, it's a little difference there. But I kind of like it here too. You know, I would love for them to be on both sides. So ultimately, it's just, they're great, you know, and there's some even changes on the balloon. Here's all green. So technically the center of the image is here with the color. So, you know, there's a couple of things. I will tell you, between those two, there are things that I prefer one over the other. That doesn't mean that, like, oh my God, like I feel that this is the ultimate, you know, like the one is better than the other. I don't think so. At the end of the day, it's what you think we prefer. Some people are going to go for the other one because it's more limited with the numbers. But in my opinion, this one, what I consider the regular, even though it's not regular, it has a lot of also pluses. And one of them, of course, is having the classic outfit. You know, it's up to you what you want to do. I think they both look great. And let me see one thing that I want to be able to see here. And that there was a comparison I saw. We're going to try to move here with this. Maybe I can get it. I saw a comparison between they have the Batman right next to it, right there. This one. Let's look at this picture. This is the comparison between the Batman. I'm telling you. I don't know. I thought that it was too busy, the Batman, but now, of course, it's bigger. The Joker has a bigger footprint. But I do like the Joker. I think it's because the way the colors make Joker pop more than you see with Batman. Batman kind of gets lost with all the detail and different colors in there in some way. But with the Joker, he's central. You know, like everything else, it's pretty much just kind of enhances the view of the Joker. Versus with the Batman, I feel that he's just part of the whole landscape. So yeah, that would be the difference right there. But make no mistake, I'm telling you, this is a really nice looking piece. Now let me go to the notes because we skip a lot of things here while I was talking about it. It says, man, such an amazing diorama. I love that portrait. Yeah, that portrait, Joker looks good. As a portrait, that's a perfect Joker portrait. What's called that diorama? It's a 1/6 scale diorama. So it's gonna fit with the 1/6 scale collection. It is a nice looking diorama. Incredible diorama. One of those pieces you can always find something new to look at. Yes, that's the thing. This is what I like about it. And I'm not really a crazy fan of busy statues. But that diorama has so much to give. There's a lot of little things here and there, like so much detail. You know, of course, I want to see the final product, and I want to see Batman because that's coming first. And that will tell you how good is that. But there's so much that they did with that. And to be honest, it tells a story. And it's hard to tell which one is best, whether it's the limited one or the classic one. I feel that it's just they're both amazing. It says, I hope that they do a Mr. Freeze diorama. And that would be good too. Well, let's see how they take that because these dioramas are taking a real estate. But to be honest with you, that's the type of diorama that can take over even a 1/3 scale. I found that diorama more impressive than a 1/3 scale statue, to be honest with you. Because it is telling you a story. And it's telling you there's so many different angles that you can look at it. Like you can have a rotating table on it, something that you can start looking. You can see so much stuff. It's just beautiful piece. It's a really showstopper. It's a piece that you're gonna look at it. You're gonna come to your collection. You can have so many different statues of different scales, big statues too. But you're gonna be looking at that because it looks just amazing. I want a Batman versus Clayface diorama. That is true. I love that. I love Versus diorama. I think we're getting to see more of a comeback. I know that Prime1 Studio is doing the Versus dioramas that they're coming. We'll see. Definitely, it's fun when companies are retaking ideas that for some reason had kind of perished for some time. You haven't seen so many dioramas, but companies are going back into the big dioramas or this, battle dioramas. That's something very, very cool. I'd be more willing to pay for a Versus diorama as opposed to a single character diorama for sure. I will say that it makes sense. I think back in the day, and that's one of the reasons why I started collecting Sideshow years ago, like 15 years ago, was because I wasn't a fan of the Versus dioramas. I love the Versus stuff. I love the dioramas they were producing. And it's something about so spectacular about the dioramas when there's a battle that I think it really enhances or their desire for those things. I love that. I think the reason why I love, action poses and I love, I think it starts from the fact that I love dioramas. I love anything that tells a story. And I think that's the reason why 1/6 scale or smaller scales are better at creating those type of battles. So, it is what it is. For the time being, I love that. It's expensive for sure. It's already sold out there. It did pretty well. There's still going to be some around that you can find. But you have to, really be looking. And on that, let me see, because I haven't really checked on this one. Let me look at Spec Fiction. I don't know if they have some available, because Spec Fiction sometimes they do, but sometimes they don't. So that's one thing that, no, it's not available at Spec Fiction yet. But you may find it. Some stores may find it somewhere. In any case, I'm telling you, it looks good. So definitely it's a different thing. It's not for everyone, but definitely it's a different thing, and you can appreciate the beauty of the art. So that is something that is really, really cool. So I will say now let's move on, guys. And I want to say to all of you, those who are watching right now and participating, thank you very much. If you're not participating, I totally understand. Maybe you're busy right now, but thank you for watching. That's important. But I want to move on into the quarter scale realm because there's so much to talk about. And I want to cover right now, and I want to talk about this. I want to talk about Sideshow PCS, and for that reason, I'm going to Sideshow Collectibles, PCS, and I talk about this piece, and this is the Poison, and I'm gonna go there. We're gonna go there. I'm right now trying to work with what I have here with this camera, but here we're back at Sideshow. Definitely need multiple screens here, but in any case, let's go to the latest releases. Let's talk about Poison. And I talked about Poison before when I talk about when they have this, what is that, the Matt Gear exclusive Hugo and Poison set. I think it's fantastic. I think Hugo is fantastic. Both together look fantastic. And here, I haven't talked about the Wedding Chun-Li. That's another version. That's something that I would say with PCS, they're doing a lot of these redos. The price is $625. Some people were complaining on social media, on Facebook, about the price. But to be honest with you, if you've been following closely, you know, you really know that 600 is the standard right now for quarter scale. And I know some people, they haven't been collecting in a while, going back after they were paying $300, where I used to pay $300 for a quarter scale. Now, it's no longer there. Now the $600 is what you're getting for 1/6 scale pieces. So it is what it is. You know, we have to move on. So I'm glad that still, I would say Sideshow, PCS, these companies, even Twitterhead on the quarter scale, they kind of maintain the same standard with the prices. So 600 is the new standard, or the basic standard for quarter scale. Well, the companies are doing it at $1,000. So Poison looks great. You know, we saw this at the last Sideshow Con. There's been a presentation. I think it looks fantastic. This is the second version, a 2.0 version of the first one that they had. They improve on the piece. It's better in so many different instances. And I think the improvements are making this piece more desirable. She looks great here. It's scale-wise, has the simpler base, which is the standard for what the stuff they do. Of course, with the Street Fighter stuff, is going to fit really, really well. So for those that are not really interested on Hugo, but they want to have like a very beautiful, sexy-looking statue of Poison, that definitely this is really, really good. The paint job is amazing. Again, you know, this is what PCS does. And PCS does amazing with those paint jobs. Hugo is massive. The matte gear, definitely. You know, those, I think, it is a must to have both, in my opinion. But to be honest, you know, even like this, in my opinion, looks good. You know, even if you're going just for Poison by herself, it looks great. You know, so it's up to you what you want to do there. So this is what we have there for that. And let me look at the chat. Yeah, it says that, yeah, but Prime1 dioramas are as big as my kitchen table. Yeah, this is the thing. Yeah, that's the thing. You know, I'm telling you, I love the stuff that Prime1 does. I love the dioramas. I love what they're trying to do. Like that is, what is that diorama that is coming very soon with the, you know, what is that? I think they're the ones doing it. Or is it XM? Don't quote me, because sometimes there's companies that are doing so much stuff. Yeah, the Batman versus the Killer Croc. That's going to be massive. That is going to be a massive. You know, like, where do I fit something like this? That is what really holds me. Not only is the pricing, which is excessive, in my opinion, but it's also the size of things. Being so big, you know, really, it's only for some people. Only for people that can afford it, the people that are willing to afford it, the people that are crazy enough to afford it, and, you know, just an elite people there. And all I can do is enjoy it and view it and say, wow, amazing, and tell you how I like it. But ultimately, it's just undoable for me. I don't have the space for that. I don't have the space for the stuff that I have. I have stuff in storage because, you know, I've run out of space, you know, like, but, you know, if I ever have the chance, I will definitely have something like that. But yeah, I think that's what I think 1/6 scale is still much better. And I love what Iron Studios is doing with the 110. I want to see more dioramas from Fire Studios for sure. I think that's what we like to see. So let's move on now, guys. I want to move on to, in this case, I want to go to Gaming Heads. Gaming Heads. This is a piece that is available at Sideshow. This is for, if you are a Halo fan, if you love the Master Chief, then definitely you're going to love this. So here are where Gaming Heads. This is the website, and here's the Master Chief. And I'm gonna close this one. You know, Gaming Heads is a company that produces primarily a lot of the gaming stuff, and some of the stuff, you know, they've been in business for years. They do a lot of PVC stuff. They do stuff also for, you know, even the smaller stuff that comes in some of the collector's edition for some video games. The price for this one is $629. They offer a payment plan. You can go to Sideshow. However, I will tell you that coming to Gaming Head's website, it's good because they have an exclusive that is only through them that comes with a switch out. Now, I gotta be honest with you. I'm undecided about this piece. And I know I've seen some people on the website loving this piece. Of course, they love this. But I'm not so crazy about this statue for a couple of reasons. And I'm gonna point that out. First, it doesn't have switch outs. Only a small switch out for the Legendary Edition, which is that it has the switch out hands, one with the clenched fist, and one with the open hand. That's it. That's all he has. That's what makes it a legendary edition. The regular version, it only has, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's just the open hand. And this is based on Master Chief from the cover of Halo 3. So they use that for reference. But he's not carrying his weapon. He only have, of course, the blades that he's carrying in one hand. And that's about it. And for me, it's not much. Even at this price point, which is the standard, like I said, the standard for quarter scale now, I find that very lackluster. You know, I'm not necessarily crazy for that. And to be honest, Gaming Head has always been like a hit or miss quality-wise. And to me, even when I look at this stuff, of course, it's based on the renderings and all of that, but I found it, the quality, even when I'm looking at these photos of this prototype, whatever it is, I don't know if it's just the digital rendering or this is the actual prototype, it's just lackluster. It looks kind of like cheap to me, kind of plasticky. Even on the face, even on the blades, the effects there's no light up feature of any kind on those blades. That would be nice. And he doesn't have just the hand open, the open hand on the leg. You know, I don't remember which one is the one. But the thing is, it has the two different hands. That's it. He's not having his iconic weapon. I would have loved for them to have a switch out. Of course, it's based on the cover, but I would love for that to have his weapon at some point. He doesn't have it. To me, it's like, what is the point of that statue? And that base is so lackluster. And I don't like to tear companies apart. I never do. If you know me well, if you follow me here, you know that I never talk about companies. But I don't like to. But to be honest with you, I don't see it. I don't see, you know, even on the paint job they did on his helmet, all of that. It just, I don't know. It lacks some detail. Even the textures on in his pretty much in his armor, they look cheap. They look plastic. And this is polystone, but they look more like PVC. But like not even the best PVC. More like the cheaper PVC, like the ABS material. So, I don't know. And, you know, I don't want to deter no one for this. But to me, at this, looking at this, the way it is, this is not worth $600. This is $300. That's it. This is definitely $300. And this is what you see with the Legendary Edition, like the hand. I would love for him to have a different hand, maybe with his weapon, you know, with his rifle. That's it. The rifle he's just carrying in the back, but he's not carrying in the front. That to me, that's something that they could have improved. And look at the pretty much the material here or the stone where he's standing up, that crate or whatever. It doesn't look right. You know, yes, maybe I'm just looking at it, just maybe the photos are not well taken, and that could be another thing. But they had 112 pictures here. 112 pictures. And none of these pictures, and I went through all of them before I, you know, of course I made the video. I'm making this live video. And none of them impress me. Not even the paint job on the blades. They don't impress me at all. You know, I'm not impressed. And I'm sorry, you know, like if you love this one, I feel that it deserves better. I will tell you that up to this point, I feel that the Sideshow quarter scale Master Chief is still a much better deal. If you're able to find it, that's a much better piece in comparison to this one. And I wish, and I feel bad because to be honest with you, I would love to see more statues of Master Chief and Halo, the Halo franchise. And 1/6, of course, that would be perfect for me. But I don't know. I just feel I'm not inspired by it. I feel that it misses the mark. It misses the mark for some reason. You know, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm seeing it wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. But every picture that I see, even the paint job here, looks very, very generic. Look plasticky. You know, like you do something with a plastic stuff. Like I seen even figures that have a much better paint job. That is my opinion, of course. You know, I don't want to continue on with this because every picture I'm telling you is the same thing. You know, you can come to the website and look at it. Look at the paint job. The detail is not, you know, the shading, you know, the lines are not well marked. And in a quarter scale, you know, this will be fine in a very small piece. Like even a 1/6 scale statue, you can forgive some of those lines not being marked well. But here I feel that it just misses the mark. The bigger it is, the more plastic it looks if it's not painted right. And that stone doesn't, like you can see on that base, the paint job doesn't look good. And this is just the prototype. If the prototype looks like that, I can only imagine how it's going to look on the final product. Of course, this is just me here talking to you and telling you how I feel about it. Now, let me go back to it does look cheap and pose is generic in my opinion. Yes, it is generic. It is a generic pose. It's based on the cover. If you remember the main cover of Halo 3, which it's fine, but they couldn't just use that as a reference and not just simply copy and paste into this. They couldn't use that as a reference and bring something new where he's holding his rifle in the front or he's pointing the rifle instead of carrying the blade, carrying the rifle. They couldn't do something very different, very unique that kind of give us something more, because you're asking for a good price. It's $600 and some for it, and to me, just a hand. Just change out hand where he's open the hand or closing the hand. That is not, you don't even notice that difference. There's nothing different about it. So to me, it's like, it's a missed opportunity. And I feel bad because gaming heads can do good and have done good statues, but still they cannot just get out of that. They, for some reason, they still kind of box into this idea, or like their stuff is kind of cheaply made for some reason, you know? So I don't know. It has potential, but so far what I've seen doesn't really inspire me. And it's not an inspiring piece for sure. It's sad because right now, of course, you know, the Halo show, it's Paramount Plus. So, you know, there is some talks and people always going to talk good about, you know, Halo. There's a lot of fans out there. They definitely deserve better statues and more statues out there. But it seems that, you know, companies are not nailing it. They're not really seeing the potential, and they're just giving you something that it looks generic. So sorry, you know, I feel bad. If somebody from Gaming Heads is watching this, my apologies. I don't want to hurt your feelings, but it is what it is. You know, something needs to be done to improve that. So we're moving on. Now we're moving on to Pure Arts, because I want to look at the stuff here. And I want to talk Pure Arts because, you know, Pure Arts is a company that I will tell you that I have seen over the years, and I see that they do have a lot of potential. And one thing, Pure Arts is one of the companies that introduce a lot of these Lido features that, in my opinion, are amazing. You know, they've been doing amazing. And I think this company deserves a lot of love. Now, this, I'm coming to the Pure Arts website. And the reason why I'm coming to the Pure Arts website is because they, and I have to enlarge this because I hate their website. Unfortunately, their website is not as user-friendly for my computer here. But we're looking at the Assassin's Creed, and I maybe have to enlarge some of the images here. But I want to do it because I want to show you this. So let me enlarge this image here a little bit before we can do that. The price we're doing is $899. Now, there's regular edition. You can find at Sideshow. The exclusive edition you can only find here on Pure Arts. And the difference with the exclusive edition is a brooch that comes with a brooch. I forgot how to call it. A brooch. It's just a thing that is a life-size thing that, to be honest with you, is not as necessary in my opinion. So you can definitely go to the Sideshow website and order there directly. But you can come here to Pure Arts if you want to have the exclusive version, and they do offer a payment plan as well, which is interesting. So now let's look at the pictures. There's plenty of pictures of this, and this is the reason why I wanted to reduce the image here. We're going to reduce it so you can see it, because definitely these images are very, very large here. The website is not optimized really for what they have here. But, you know, look at this. I like it. To be honest with you, I haven't played Odyssey. You know, I'm a fan of Assassin's Creed. I play many of the games, but I haven't really played the most recent games as much. I haven't played Valhalla. I haven't played Odyssey. And I think I don't play, what is that, the one that was in Egypt? I didn't play that one. So it's been a little while. I haven't played anything. But I'm a big fan of the franchise, and I still pay attention to the franchise, you know, and what they do. So Cassandra I will say that this is beautiful, what the concept that they have here, but also I gotta be honest with you, I'm not totally blown away by this piece in comparison to other pieces that they have done. I think other pieces are more impressive because of the design. I feel it's because in this one, the base is a lot larger in comparison to the other one. So in some ways, when you have a very large base and a very, I would say, calm pose, so that can take over. The base can become the focal point instead of the statue. But when you look at Cassandra, I love the detail. And this one has the interchangeable and this portraits. So it has the helmet, which is kind of nice. But in some ways, when I get closer to her face, it looks a bit generic. You know, like, I don't know, it feels plain. The base is amazing. You know, the whole detail they have, and the Lido features, believe me, it's going to be amazing. And I love that it's all fully sculpted. Love the detail on the piece. And definitely the detail that you can see on that base. And when you go the whole base, there's a lot of good things on the base. I think the most impressive thing here is the whole base concept and all of that, what they did. But I wish Cassandra had a different pose. Maybe in a battle pose, a more imposing pose. I think it misses that. Now, it looks cool. Don't get me wrong, at different angles. But I think some of the other pieces that they have produced for the, for the collection are more impressive. They feel more impressive in person. I feel that she gets lost on the statue, of course. It was a Minerva statue in the back. But the idea, the concept, what they did here, it looks good. I like that she's standing on that, pretty much on those, the images there, the Greek mythological images and all that. Now, this light up features with the flame, that's something that they do amazingly. And this is one thing I will tell you about pure art. So you're unfamiliar with pure arts, is that they create things, they combine things, they allow this when they do these statues for, technically they do so much wiring within the statue that allows for this to have this light up features that look really neat. I think they do better. Even that light up feature goes into her body, which is amazing. Here you can see. It is a nice piece, there's details. You can see the stand, that they have for the extra switch out portrait. That's a nice touch. I love the base on this one. Don't get me wrong. I love the base. I think, and I love their fair figure looks good. The paint job, the detail on her armor, all of that looks good. It's just the pose, in my opinion, could have been better. And that would allow her to have more presence, to be more, to feel more alive in some way. Not as, she seems like scared for some reason, looking down. But here you can see the detail. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, Pure Arts is a good company. I'm not saying that it is a bad company. A company that definitely deserves more attention, but unfortunately they don't get as much attention. But definitely it's a company that, when it comes about this type of stuff with light up features, I think they're some of the best, perhaps the best. Amazing stuff, and that's what they do. The bread and butter is definitely the light up features and Assassin's Creed for sure. So it looks good. It's not my favorite per se. I think price wise, I think it's fair, considering that it has the light up feature, but not necessarily like, oh my god, I'm blown away by it. All right, let me read the notes now. Let me read the comments here. Hey JP, how are you? Mike Gonzalez. Hey Mike, how you doing? Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate your support. Thank you everyone. I want to tell you everyone. Thank you everyone. If I get distracted, I'm sorry. I'm not missing you, all of you. I'm still paying attention to what you have to say, but definitely I get concentrated on this videos. I've been thinking about perhaps what I'm going to do for future. I'm gonna maybe do excerpts of this video excerpts here and post them separately for those who are only interested in One Piece for the future. So that way you don't have to come through the whole video. But yes, I still will have the timestamps for you, so you can look at the timestamps. But I want to say to all of you, Mike, Joseph, Batman, who else? Mojo, is that you have it? Element Only 08, a late night trip. All of you, thank you. I do appreciate your support. It really means a lot to me. So now I want to move. Let's move on to the next thing I want to talk about today. And this is it. I'm impressed with this one. Queen Studios. And that is the reason we're going to go there. I want to talk about Queen Studios because, man, I'm telling you, Queen Studios does amazing stuff. And I'm here. Let me show you. We're here at the website. And let's look at this stuff. Of course, the Batman, we talked about it last week, but Loki here. And this, of course, not available in the United States. You have to go through someplace other means. But if you're outside the United States, still, there are places like in Europe where this is going to be available. You have to pay the deposit of $130, but this is going to be $1,000. Now, this piece, in my opinion, is impressive. It is impressive what they have done here. I love the sculpt. I love the pose. When I saw it the first time, I thought it would be silicone, but it's sculpted, which is amazing. And now with the rooted hair, of course, I know that it's some of you mentioned the maintenance that it's going to require is going to be heavy. And I'm still thinking, how are they going to manage to have a fully sculpted piece, a polystone piece with some silicone hair? So I don't know how that's going to work out, how they're going to make it work. Because you're gonna make little holes in the polystone. How that's gonna work, I really don't know. To me, like, that face looks more like made out of PVC. But it says that it's fully sculpted, so they're saying that it's going to be also polystone. How they're gonna make it work? It says polystone body. Okay, so the body is polystone. Okay, well, I know that. But what about the face? It has rooted hair. The face is silicone, real fabric, and genuine leather, because it doesn't say anything else. It's gonna come out in the third quarter of 2023. Who knows? Now, I don't like the pictures the way they're set up here on the website. So for that, I'm gonna come to let's go to Facebook. I want to come to Facebook, and I'm gonna go to Queen Studios, and I'm coming to my personal Facebook. Right there, Queen Studios, and I'm gonna show you right here. We are here at Queen Studios. They've been doing all kind of stuff here. And let's come to right there. The piece. Price, of course, $11.40. Deposit $430. No edition size yet. But man, look at that. Is it fully sculpted? It says the body is fully sculpted. I don't know if this is PVC or silicone or the eyes are movable, but man, the likeness with Hiddleston is just there. The likeness with the actor is just there. Look at that face. It's just really, really good. And sometimes, of course, there's always a criticism about Queen Studios about likeness. People don't like certain things here and there. But this piece, in my opinion, it's just really, really well done. It's really well done. How they're gonna, I haven't seen anything as good. If it is fully polystone, man, I've never seen something as good as it in polystone. It's just so good. And I will tell you, Queen Studios is really nailing it with these portraits. They're really doing a fantastic job. Now, I don't think that it comes with his helmet, something that I will love to see. I don't know if it's something, but I don't see no pictures of that. It doesn't say even on the comics it's gonna have any change out parts, like having his classic helmet. That would be cool. I don't know if it's going to have it, but it doesn't say in the comments at all. I haven't heard anything about that. But overall, just the likeness. This is just an impressive looking piece for sure. Look at the eyes. That's just the actor. That is an impressive piece. And that base, the detail, really, really cool. Look at that. Man. And that's a lot of hair. I can see that. That's impressive. Now, when you look at this type of hair, of course, we're going back to the point of maintenance. Are you able to maintain it? Are you able to take care of it? That's the thing, that the concern. It's not for everyone. You have to have a specific type of collection room, the conditions to have this one, because definitely this is, you paying the price for this one. You want to be able to preserve it. You want for things to last. How long this rooted hair is going to last? How permanent it is. So it's the same question that we have even with silicone, how permanent the silicone can be. And I know so many collectors are always concerned about those things because, with polystone, at least we know what we're dealing with. Polystone has been in the market for so long, cold cast porcelain. So, it lasts longer. Of course, we haven't really lived that long to know how long porcelain can last, but we know that natural porcelain can last for many years. So cold cast porcelain, that is a different process to work with porcelain, makes it more durable. So we know they can last for a lifetime. But now with silicone materials, with this type of materials, with rooted hair, all of that, then definitely there's the concern of, longevity, if they can last long. It is what it is. We cannot simply say, oh, it's going to last, because it's really the matter that nobody really knows. Nobody really knows how long this is going to last. But, it's always good to see it that way and to at least to see, the potential there. Hey, dang, that is a nice piece. Yes, it is, Mike. And Knight, oh, hello. How you doing, Knight? Thank you for tuning in. Yeah, that is a mini Tom Hiddleston. Yeah, it is a mini Tom Hiddleston. That is a quarter scale piece. It's the perfect scale for a lot of quarter scale collectors. I know people will be concerned about $1,000, but to be honest with you, Sideshow doesn't have anything like it. Anything that they have produced that is based on movies, none of that has ever come close in the likeness to something like this. So this is where Queen Studios shines. And this is the reason this companies like J&D Studios, Queen Studios, they're shining and they're really bringing a lot of fans, because when it comes about likeness with the actors, it's just there. You know, it's like it may miss it by a little bit, but I will tell you with this one, particularly with Loki, from Tom Hiddleston here, is the closest thing. I don't see anything to complain. And some people will always complain, but I seen other such as people complaining, oh, the likeness is off by this or that. But this one, I don't see anything. On the contrary, I don't see anything to me that says it is not the actor. It's just like 100% there, like 99%, 99.9%. So that is impressive. Yeah, this new silicone materials may be too hard for me to maintain. My statues keep me busy enough as it is with the dusting and air purifiers. Yeah, this is the thing. And let me drink this because I need it for my stomach. But coconut water helps me with my stomach. It's something that I drink every day. Try to control all the acidity and all that. But in any case, this is the problem with silicone. It's like, it's a material that requires so much maintenance. We don't even know, because we haven't had long enough with some of the statues to know if they're gonna last and how long they're gonna last. They can promise you, oh, they're gonna last for 30 years or such time or something like that. They promise you, but who knows? Who really knows? They haven't been here long enough to prove it, to say, oh yeah, it lasts for 30 years. You know, this is the thing. Some materials have been proven, like cold cast porcelain, to last that long or more. You know, you remember back in the day, I used to work, you know, when I was young in my 20s, I used to work in landscaping. I used to work for companies doing like more high-end landscaping. I was working for like very in the area where I live here in South Carolina, historical landscaping. I work for this company, which it was all about doing all the natural way. The owner of the company used to love to do, you know, like everything historically. We were working the historical homes, so you cannot really use any type of materials. You cannot use this because you have to preserve the nature and the plants of that has been there for hundreds of years, you know, since the independence times or since the revolution times. And I remember that we used to dig a lot of the times on, you know, these places, you know, finding, and you find all kind of things from the, you know, from the Civil War stuff, also from independence time. And you find porcelain all the time on the ground. You know, you find porcelain all the time, you know, china and all that stuff, which is porcelain. This is just porcelain. And this is cold cast porcelain. It's actually like cold cast porcelain, which is it's porcelain, it uses porcelain, but it's a more resilient material. And after 100 years, 200 years, 300 years, they still last. You can find those parts that they end up in museums, historical museums here. They go to universities for study, all that, and, you know, private collections. They last that long. It's proven. You know, we know that, you know, porcelain is a very resilient material, cold cast porcelain, polystone, that can last long. We don't have the same type of confidence with silicone. Yeah, people can tell you all they want. They can go all day long telling you about this or that, but nobody knows. So it's just their word against your word, or, you know, whoever's word. So there's a lot of ifs, a lot of unknowns. And as a material, you know, like it is, as it is with this polystone material, you still gotta undust, you gotta clean. The good thing about polystone, and some people may not like it, but I have done that many times. When they get too like grimy and you're unable to dust, depending on how you're busy, you can even wash them. You can even wash it with regular soap and water, cold water, even some little warm water. You can wash a statue, a fully statue, and it's clean like nothing. It cleans them up, you know, it like nothing. They look like brand new. You cannot do that with silicone, with the dust. Where that stuff gets in the silicone, how long that's going to last. You know, like if simple silicone that we use for all kind of things degrades, like for example the silicone that these materials for these phones, they start degrading after a certain amount of time. They degrade, you start feeling those particles coming apart, like you can kind of take it out. This is silicone, you know, silicone that we use for all sort of things. So to me it's like, nah, you know, there's a lot of no's. And you know, if you're paying $1,000, who can guarantee it? Nobody can. So I don't know. It depends. You know, if you have plenty of money to go for it, go for it. But if you don't, if you're really careful about your expenditures and, you know, you're really concerned about those things, I don't think it's worth trying out. But yeah, supposedly this is fully sculpted, or is the body is fully sculpted. I don't know if the face is, but it looks amazing. That definitely looks amazing. Let's move on, my friends. Let's move on before we keep talking about more stuff. We pretty much go into different directions. Let's move on to the next company, and I want to talk about Prime1 Studio. Prime1 Studio is going to be the last company we're going to cover today, and definitely Prime1 Studio is a company that, to me, it's always on in my conversations, because definitely I would say in the last few months, I haven't talked much about it because, they've been, like other companies have been taking center stage. But that doesn't mean that, Prime1 Studio should be discounted. You need to count on Prime1 Studio. So we're looking at Bloodsport right here. Like you can see the bonus version, which is the version that here at the Prime1 Studio normally ends up also at Sideshow. So it's not like you have to always do it through Prime1 Studio. You can go to Sideshow, and I would recommend to go to Sideshow instead. Although this guy is not yet available there, but it will be at some point. But to go there, because you can save more money on the shipping costs and all of that. The price is $13.99. There's no edition size. This is going to release according to the website. It doesn't even say. Well, here right there is between July and October of 2023. Now let's look at the pictures. I will tell you one thing. I mentioned many times before, I'm not a fan of the Suicide Squad film. I wasn't crazy about it. I was disappointed. I was hoping for a lot more. There were some good elements on that, I can say that. Now, I will tell you about the statue. I like it, but with the portrait, they did some changes, but I'm still not 100% convinced on the portrait. It looks like Elba, but not necessarily 100%. It looks like an older version of Elba. Even the hair looks like more white. He looks older for some reason. I'm not completely sold on the portrait. I know some people are. I'm not. Now, they went for the more, stoic pose, which is something that they have kind of done with the whole collection. Now, this is the bonus part with the Star of the Conqueror, this little star. But this is the bonus version that comes with all the pieces. It comes with Harley. It comes also with the John Cena statue. I forgot, what is that? I just forgot the name. Remind me. Peacemaker. Maybe it's getting too late here. It's the same, and to me it's like, what's the difference? It's the same little statue. I think maybe the pose is different, but it's the same Starro that comes with all of them. So I don't know what is the point of having the bonus thing when it's gonna be the same thing that they all get. So I don't know. It seems weird. I don't know what they were thinking about doing it that way. I don't see anything like, oh my god, I need to have it because of this bonus thing. It's kind of cool, but it's the same thing that comes with the other two. Maybe it's a different pose, who knows? But here you can see he's holding now, they have the switch out arm, he's holding now his helmet. Now, at different angles, he looks like him for sure. But at some angles like this one, it looks different. And, it has this like swappable parts, which is like this parts of the armor. And of course, with the hand, and he's holding that, the grappling hook. And the arm, just like that. And then, of course, carrying the helmet in his hand, or, having the helmet and the portrait. Of course, changing that portrait. So there are pluses. It looks good at some angles. Stoic. I know there are a lot of fans of Elba. He's a great actor, in my opinion. I think he hasn't done as much stuff that I will say. There are a lot of things that he could have been so good with a much better direction, in my opinion. And I think on the Suicide Squad, there was a lot of potential. But I feel that he was not to the extent that I would love to see the character, but at the same time, there were so many different characters in the Suicide Squad that ultimately each one had a small part in the whole thing. And that's the thing when you bring a big cast and big stars together. But dimension-wise, of course, a museum pose here with the helmet. I love the helmet too. Too bad that he doesn't. And I'm not sure that he's carrying a weapon. At the same time, now they don't showcase none of that. Of course, he may have a weapon. I will have to look at the notes. But now, of course, with the whole thing with DC and stuff, they wanted the characters showing weapons. Here is right there with the other two. Yeah, looking good, in my opinion. I think they're going to look good together. If you're already building this collection, I think, to be honest, of course, people love Harley Quinn. I talked about it before. Now, I think Peacemaker looks better. Love that. But, of course, with the weapon, look at the face here. Yeah, in some spots it looks really good. It's a sculpted piece for sure. But when you look at sculpted pieces, likeness, still not there. And that's why we were comparing with Queen Studios, that likeness was amazing. That is amazing likeness, 100%. This one, it's more like a 90% likeness there. And then you have this swappable part, which to me is like, what's the point of that little thing there? This is one thing that it can be lost in my opinion. So I don't care much about that little thing there. But then you have the weapons. He has this weapon that he carries. So you can change some of the things. And also with the weapons, I think there's different angles perhaps. So there's different weapons. Okay, so he has the 2 weapons for both hands. Okay, that is cool. So this base and star right there, that's the bonus part. And of course, there's like 79 pictures. As always, some crazy amount of pictures here. But it's a simple stoic pose. Here, kind of give you an idea. That gives you an idea. It's stoic. Yeah, it's not bad. We can continue on, but you can go and look at the whole piece. Definitely, there's some good things. I love the helmet, all that. There's a couple things there that I am personally like. A couple things not so much. But before, I want to show you something. Let me go first to the chat. Let's see what is said here. Yeah, there's new silicone metal. Okay, I already read that one. Peacemaker. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for correcting me, because I was like, what the heck? I just forgot. I'm just probably a bit tired right now to think a lot of things. But I wanna get out of this piece. And this is Bloodsport. I think it's good. It's a good piece. $1,400, so you can afford it. It's a bit boring in my opinion with the pose. It has some potential there. But if you're already collecting the whole Suicide Squad, then definitely it's a must. I think it's a must character. And there's more characters that are coming, so we'll see. Now I want to show you something before we go. Something that, with the 10th anniversary, last week we talked about this night battle version of the test type 01, which is very cool, and Evangelion. But I want to look at this Gods Berserker. This is a new alternate version. This already came out. The regular version. This is a different Bloody Nightmare, so it has different colors, more red with blood all over. It's more gory. This is $1,300 for this version. If you're really a Berserker fan. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't change that here. Let me show you. Right there. Look at that. The Berserker, the Bloody Nightmare version. This is the... it's the same piece that was done before. Now, the only thing is that it's all bloody on the armor. There's more blood. But it's the same piece that was released before. A lot of fans love this one. Really big with that sword. 95 centimeters, almost a meter tall to the tip of that sword. Very gory piece now with all the blood everywhere. I will tell you, I have read Berserker and I've read the manga. But it's not my favorite manga. I have read it, because I like to keep up with a lot of things. But, I totally understand why people love it. It's such a fan favorite. And I think they did a terrific job with this version. So it's kind of nice that they're doing these new revisions and these new versions with different things. And, of course, they brought this one. But when I see it as the same piece as before, it's just, of course, all the blood that has been added to it. That's kind of cool. So it is the same piece as you can see, but the bloodiness. And I think, it's not for everyone. Only, if you're really into Berserker and you're a collector, and there's plenty of characters out there that collect this Berserker stuff, then definitely they're going to appreciate it for sure. So yeah, that's pretty good. So yeah, this is in edition size 750, which is pretty large. It's a pretty large edition size for this one. I think the regular is already sold out. It was sold out some time ago, so it's been a while. So it's another chance for those who are interested on this piece. And, by all means, if you're a Berserker fan, then I will say go for it. All right, let's read this. It says, it took me a year to pre-order Wonder Woman versus Hydra Deluxe. I really take my time making a decision when it comes to statues at that price. I will tell you, that is the way to do it. Personally, I don't recommend people to jump into certain things without thinking. And the good thing about Prime1 Studio is that sometimes it takes a while for them to release certain things. And sometimes some of those, the stuff that they have, it stays in the website for quite a while. They end up sometimes at Sideshow, like for example, the Batman. Now the Jim Lee Batman is now at Sideshow. So it gives you time to think because the truth of the matter is that there were so many options. You want to make sure, particularly when you're talking about over $1,000, you know, you have to be completely sure. You have to be 100% confident that this is what you want. Because I see collectors, you know, I see all collectors. I'm not gonna name people. I see collectors that they constantly, and some collectors. Sometimes I wonder about their mental state. You know, they talk about they constantly, you know, they order something, pre-order something, then they cancel. They pre-order and they cancel, and they constantly cancel, and they letting everyone know they're canceling. And to me, it's like, you know, like you have to be very careful when you're playing with money. You know, it's always gonna be the hype. The hype is something that keeps us always going to the same thing over and over. Like hype is something that, you know, keeps us moving. You know, it's hype is part of this industry. But when things are overhyped, you know, you may love something this week, and the next week you're lost interest because there's something better that came out or something totally different. So it's important to keep your mind focused on what you want, and sometimes it requires some time to think about it. You know, it's better to think about it and then come to a decision. I will tell, if you're not 100% confident about a decision, then it means that you don't have to go. It's not a no-go. No green light on that. You know, but to me, it's when you're totally, I'm in, and it's a green light, then of course you go for it. Then you pre-order something. But good thing, you know, back in the day was the companies survived with that hype. I remember with Sideshow years ago when there was no competition, there was no XM Studios, there was no Prime1 Studio. The only game in town was, for Marvel stuff, was definitely not even DC. That was before Prime. Sideshow had the DC license, so because there was no other alternative unless you go into the custom route, which was not as big as it is now. So the hype was there. Like if you don't jump into the website and pre-order the stuff, and believe me, the many times people went to your website and the website crashed. If you don't pre-order the stuff, you were out of luck. You didn't get the exclusive. So people were jumping on it. But now with so many companies on board, do you really need to pre-order right away? You don't, because, you know, there's so much competition, so much supply, and the demand has kind of like stolen some way. There's high demand, yes, but with so much supply, then definitely there's so many options to go around. All right, let's see. Do you know if XM will have an event soon? I'm waiting for the Venom and Symbiote Spider-Man that they announced last year. Well, I'm not sure, Polito. I'm not sure. I know, like, for example, this weekend we have WonderCon, but they're not going to be there, of course. I don't know what is the next. I'm sure they will know for sure. You know, they do the presentations in Asia, but with everything that has been happening right now in China with the COVID, the new strain, you know, the strain of COVID or whatever that is happening over there. So I don't know if there's going to be cancellations of some of these big events. Many events are canceling, are closing, you know, they're moving into something. But now I think XM is also moving with the new stuff that they did with the new new location they start. They also, you were here last week, we talked about they have a new studio also within the new store, and they want to kind of do more video stuff, more podcast stuff, more presentation. I think that's the plan that XM is doing. They want to get into the same realm as other companies are doing, to do more presentations online. I think the best thing for them is to follow the example of Prime1 Studio, to do their own presentation rather than going to different conventions. But I think with the store open, it gives them an opportunity, and I feel that that's the way companies should go. Something that Iron Studios is doing with their own presentation once a month, and inside Iron Studios with Prime1 with the next level stuff, and Sideshow with their Sideshow Con. So I think, you know, we need to see more of that, and we're gonna see more of that XM. So, but I don't know physically. I have to kind of dig information. Maybe I'll dig with that and I'll let you know. Maybe on the next week. But I know that there's some stuff, but they haven't really said much if they're gonna go. But I'm sure that they will go to China Con and things like that in Asia. But they also are planning to do more of the digital stuff, which I think is the way to do it. Now, Mojo, I do the same thing. A late night trip when making big purchases. Unfortunately, in statue collecting, by the time I decide to buy, it's long sold out. Sometimes if you take too long, then it goes away. But I think things are kind of changing, and it's giving us more time. I can see that now. For example, like I was pre-ordering a lot of stuff right away with the Twitterhead stuff. I have a lot of stuff on pre-order for Twitterhead, but right now I seen that some of that stuff stays there on the website for a while. The exclusive still on Sideshow. Some of the stuff in the Twitterhead is still on Sideshow for pre-order exclusive stuff. So I'm thinking, why do I jump so quick to pre-order something when it's still there? So that lets me think, because right now with the 1/6 scale you know, you have to also consider that XM Studios also doing 1/6 scale, so it's a competition. Although I prefer Tudorhead because it has a more classic look over, in this case, XM that does more of the modern look, the new 52, the Rebirth stuff, the DC Universe stuff, which is the newest stuff that DC does. I agree. You have to be 100% in love with the piece to drop 1K or more. Yeah, it's just the way it is. You know, if you are only, you know, if you have money to blow, you know, like go for it. If that's your thing. If you're really a multimillionaire rich guy that, you know, to you $1,000 is a drop in the bucket, is what you actually spend on going for lunch, do it. But if you're like me, that I live on day-to-day stuff, you know, I have a regular job and I have to go every day to work so I can pay for the mortgage, the car payment, the bills, medical, whatever, all the bills that we have, food on the table, you know, like my wife and I, we work together so we can maintain, and sometimes things get tough financially. So because everything is going up, gas is going up, all of that. If I live like that, you know, if you live like me, then yeah, you know, like it's stupid just to throw money at something that at the end of the day you're not gonna be happy with, or ultimately you're gonna change your mind. So might as well just be very, very picky. You know, pickiness is an important thing in this. It's what keeps you going in this hobby, maintains your sanity. You know, if not, you go crazy. Now, my potato, although I was waiting for it to convert to deluxe so far, it was deluxe or bust, and it took a year, so I went for it. It's always best not to rush into anything. Yeah, you know, like when you rush into something, it's just like it's very, very likely that you're gonna be in trouble. Like I can tell you one thing, for example, I did not pre-order the Superman from Tudorhead, the exclusive version. That's when I was working here on the channel. I didn't have the means for it, so I didn't pre-order the exclusive version. I know the regular version is available for pre-order. And I know maybe people are already getting that Superman from Tudorhead exclusive. I've been waiting because I signed up for, in this case, the wish list or whatever. So to convert, hopefully converts. If not, I will still get the regular. I would love to have this case exclusive with the extra switch out portraits. But to be honest with you, I didn't jump on it, and I'm just waiting because ultimately, if I don't get it, doesn't convert or anything like that on Sideshow. And I even on Twitterhead, I still will get the regular at some point. But the thing is this, I've come to the decision that I'm not going to jump on things just right away because it's just not good. You know, ultimately it's not good. You know, and then you get so many pre-orders, you're stuck with a lot of pre-orders, and then new stuff comes out that actually is superior to the stuff you already have in pre-order. So might as well just wait for a better time. I just received my XM Hulk transformation yesterday. Oh, congratulations. I would have bought it when it first came out. I could have saved so much money. That's true. That's true. And that is an amazing looking piece. That is, to be honest, is an amazing looking piece. But I think we're moving. You know, I think that one still came out in a time where XM Studios was still kind of doing crazy stuff. Like, in a time where there was a lot of demand, I think that some pieces have them. You know, this is the thing. Now you have to compare this. There are pieces that have high demand. There are pieces that don't have as much demand. And sometimes it's hard to determine which one does. But I will tell you one thing. Something that I have learned over the years is that when you see a piece that there's so much conversation online, so much positivity towards the piece, then you realize that piece is going to sell quick. So it's important, I would say, not to jump on the wagon right away, but to look how people are operating, how people are behaving around it. And that piece is because it's very unique. There's no competition. You know, now with Wonder Woman, there's a lot of competition because there's so many Wonder Womans. Wonder Woman's a character that they sell so much that you always get a new version of Wonder Woman. So yeah, that piece is going to have some demand, and definitely, you know, it's always going to be something better or something that people are going to say, well, this is better. So people are going to be jumping from one Wonder Woman to the other. Now with Hulk, yeah, it's a great character, you know, that they always also sells well, but how many transformation Hulks have you seen? You know, there's not much competition. So ultimately that Hulk was from the get-go determined to be good, a good seller. And that's the reason why it sells so well. And it's an amazing piece. So I will tell you, Mojo, congratulations, because you have a winner. You have definitely a piece that is, I wouldn't say like a grail, but it's about to be a grail. It's really close to grail, and for some people consider it as emotional grail. It is about to be a financial grail for sure. It's almost there because you're paying top dollar for it. but it's an amazing looking piece from XM Studios. I don't want to go through the process of having to sell and worrying about shipping breakages and deal with that. So I need to know what if I want it. I will tell you that is the way to do it. That's for sure. Because I've been there. I'm telling you. I remember I used to buy a lot of statues that ultimately when they came out, I wasn't happy. I just bought it because, you know, I wanted to complete certain collections. I did that with some Sideshow pieces and also with N.E.C.A pieces and Bowen pieces, and ultimately I sold them and I wasn't impressed with them. And then of course some pieces, they are more finicky and sometimes you got breakages, you know, like I deal with that too when I was selling. So that's the reason I don't sell, because it's a lot of headaches. You know, I haven't really sold a lot of stuff in a while. Last time I sold stuff was when I started doing the channel full time. Prior to that, I have to sell some stuff. So it's been probably 4 years since the last time I sold a statue. 4 years. And because I started the channel, I went full time with the channel 3 years ago. So it was prior, within that year before that, I started selling some stuff so I can have some extra cash. I gotta be honest with you. It's like, you know, it's, you know, like I'm to the point that I'm done selling stuff. I'm done. So now if I'm buying something, I'll keep it. I might as well just give it away because sometimes when you're trying to sell some stuff, you just lose. You lose more, you know, dealing with a lot of stuff. It's a lot of stress. And to be honest, you know, some people can deal with that. You know, I went through that stage where I, you know, constantly dealing, trading and selling and all that. And yeah, I'm done. You know, I'm not doing it. You know, I'm not doing it anymore. So everyone is different. Of course, everybody goes to different stages. I've just lost it. You know, I lost the desire, you know, dealing with people, you know, shipping stuff, worrying if it's gonna get there. And I used to, and this is the thing, I remember when I used to sell all this stuff, I did have no problem selling internationally. Some people, you know, they only wanted to sell within the United States, but to me, like, I like to help other people. So I was selling a lot of statues. I found that it was easier for me to sell internationally in the sense that here in America, everybody's a low bowler. You know, everybody wants, because we have so much access to so much stuff. You know, sometimes we take for granted the fact that we have access to a lot of these collectibles. So people want always low ball you. They always want to give you a lot less than what you want to sell something. What actually something actually worth. So it was easier for me to sell, particularly Bowen. It was easier for me. And some, you know, grails, Sideshow grails. I even sold the, what is that? The Sideshow Hulk, the OG Hulk. I sold it to a guy in the Philippines. Well, I had that piece, you know, and I sold it. That's years ago now, probably more than 10 years ago. Somewhere around 10 years ago or 9 years. I don't remember. It's been a while. The thing is this, I sold that piece. I had that one, which sometimes I even kick myself for selling it, but ultimately I kind of grew tired of it on some of those Sideshow pieces. I started selling those Sideshow quarter scale. And I will say that that was perhaps the grail of grails for me. But I sold it. That was the green, the regular one. I sold it to a guy in the Philippines, and because I tried to sell it on the statue forum, and people were like, oh, they were like offering me little for it, you know, like, come on, you know, like nobody wants to pay you for it. That was 9 years, probably it's been 7 years, something. I don't remember. The thing is this, I went and I posted, and I think I posted on, but somebody reached out. It was an international buyer, says, I'll buy it for you for this. Or I said, how much you want for this? I want this, and he said, I'll send it to you. What he did is this. He sent it to me in 2 different, and back in the day, it was different. You know, like he sent me like, I cannot use PayPal, but I can send you Western Union. I can send you 2 different deposits, cash money, technically. So he sent me, you know, yeah, that was cash money. He sent it to me, 2 payments. I got the cash. 2 weeks later, he sent me the rest, and I was happy. I sold it for a good amount of money. And I just bag it, you know, make sure it was good, send it and ship it. And of course, you worry about because it's internationally. But I used to do that a lot. You know, I sold a lot of statues. I sent a lot of statues to Italy, to Spain, Turkey. I sold stuff to Scotland, to England, Germany. I think Croatia. At some point, I think it was Croatia or Ukraine. You know, praise for the Ukraine right now. But I sent some stuff to Ukraine. I don't think it was Croatia, but I think it was Croatia. At some point, I think somebody from there. I don't remember, but I sent a lot of stuff. I think at the Philippines, I sold something to someone in Australia at some point. So I deal with a lot of people from different parts of the world. I sold someone in Japan, which was interesting. That took a while to get there. But I got tired of it, you know. Like, to me, it's like it's a lot to worry about. You know, sometimes things get kind of lost in that. Thankfully, I never had any issues, but it's worrisome when, you know, things can take a month to get where they need to be. It's worrisome. So, you know, I don't want to go through that. So I think I come to a place in my life where whatever I purchase, I want to be sure that is what I want, and I'm gonna get it. Some stuff, of course. Some grails, some stuff that I know is going to sell. And you have to kind of pay attention, open your ears, look at this stuff in social media, what people are saying. Then you know if it's selling quick. And some stuff, some companies sell quick, like Tsume Art. That company sells stuff very quick. Some companies, you know that they're going to sell out. J&D, they're going to sell out in a matter of hours. So those companies, if you're going for that kind of stuff, then you have to be 100% sure that you're going to do it and do it right away because it's going to sell out. All right, my friends, here selling a lot of anything can be very time consuming. Yes, it is time consuming. It is time consuming. You know what? It's like a second job, man. You know, like, I don't have time for that. Ain't nobody had time for that. I don't have time for that. You know, it's, you gotta pack this stuff, and sometimes you gotta take it, or you have to, or, you know, schedule somebody to pick up, or you gotta go to the post office. Then you gotta pack this stuff. Then you gotta make sure that everything is packed well. Then you gotta tape it right. Then you gotta weigh it. Then you gotta take it to the post office. It's international, because I prefer doing that. Or you have to do it to DHL if you have done internationally. UPS in America, I prefer UPS, even to Canada, or FedEx. Or you gotta choose whatever service, and then you gotta take it there. Or you gotta make sure that they pick it up. Then you gotta you're always looking at where is that. And now, because of mail the way it is, you know, it's they don't need to keep up with this stuff. And then it gets there, and you have to be afraid. And when you send internationally, you got to go through customs, and you got to make sure. And this is the thing. Once it goes internationally, you do it through USPS, the American Postal Service. It gets into the void. You know, you don't know once. In some countries, it's like it disappears. Like the Royal Mail in the UK, I'm telling you, it's super fast. I love to send stuff to the UK because it's fast. It's expensive to send to the UK. More expensive than send even to Australia, not Australia, but to other places in Asia or in Europe. But it is, I'm confident of their service, you know, when it gets there. But in some countries, like Italy, I'm telling you, I sent stuff from Italy. I was a bit skeptical. I've been skeptical at times. Even Italy, Greece. I sent stuff in Greece, and it just, Turkey, man. I'm telling you, it disappears. So, like, you don't know. They tell you it gets in the hands of customs. Now you don't know if it's going to be there. It's going to get into the right hands. So you're like worrying big time. What's going to happen? I sent stuff to Brazil. That was another nightmare too. That is the quintessential Hulk. Yes, it is. You know, like, it is an amazing piece. It is a grail. You know, like, it's a grail now, you know, for most people. And it's up there. You know, it's a beautiful piece. So I would say, again, Mojo, congratulations, my friend. You have an amazing looking piece. And I'm sure you paid top dollar, but I'm glad that you have it. And definitely you're going to enjoy it. Well, my friends, I want to say to all of you, thank you very much. I really enjoyed this conversation. Definitely. Thank you for that. I'm glad that I was able to do it. Not feeling so great, but I'm able to do it. And I want to say to all of you, it's a pleasure for me to do these videos. It's a pleasure for me to come and have this conversation with you. It's a pleasure for me to help you out. You know, at the end of the day, I know that collectibles can be, you know, time consuming. You know, like, I'm not denying it. You know, collectibles can be sometimes a pain in the butt. In the sense that there's so much in it. You know, like, you know, I love collectibles. I don't know. You know, I know sometimes people ask me, you know, like, do you really are so much into it? Do you love what you do? And I say, yeah, I do. I love what I do. I love this. I love to talk about this. You know, it's part of who I am, my childhood memories, the superheroes. Thank you, Mojo. Yeah, I feel better. To be honest with you, that's the reason I will tell you, like, last week I got sick after I had this video. I was really sick. You know, because it was late. I ate something, and I think that didn't do so well. I ate late at night. And I'm telling you, I couldn't sleep. I was sick all night. And that weekend was terrible. And I said, I don't want to repeat the same thing. So I'm not having eaten dinner. I'm not going to eat dinner or anything. I'm going to just drink some water, drink some liquid, some rest. But tomorrow, because tomorrow I have some plans, I got to go with my family. We're going to Jacksonville. I have my nephew with me, and we're going to to do some sightseeing. I think we go into some flea markets, because if you haven't been in Jacksonville, Florida, there's some big flea markets. We're gonna go there. We're gonna go to a museum. I'm gonna take him out to see things and to explore all of that. So yeah, I'll be here next Friday. This is the thing. From now on, I want to do this every Friday until God permits, and talk about the collectibles, and talk about anything, and maybe if you want to be part of this, let me know. Send me a message. Let me know if you want to participate. You can send me on Facebook. You can send me here. Tell me, hey, I want to be part of it, and we can have a live conversation. I'll send you the link. We can talk, and that way we can, you're welcome. I don't have a problem. I like to talk to you. I see some other live videos where people, they talk to each other, but they don't talk to the people in the audience. I prefer to talk to you, because ultimately I think you're the reason why my channel grows. You're the reason why I'm here. More than just me, it's you. So I like to help you. You help me too. I think we all help each other to keep going on this, because this hobby sometimes can be overwhelming. Sometimes you feel like you want to just throw the towel. But what keeps you going is just, I think, the motivation of having friends and making friends here that they share the same passion. They share the same thing. Yeah, Aaron, thank you. Happy weekend too. All of you, I want to say again, thank you very much for your support. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the time. Enjoy the time with your families. I think, at the end of the day, everything is temporary. Collectibles are temporary. Family is the most important thing. Enjoy the time with your family. The time that we have a lot on this earth, we have to live at the fullest. We have to live at the fullest, because we're not going to take any of this with us. So might as well just enjoy it for the time being. Enjoy what we have while it lasts. And, whatever comes in eternity, I believe in eternity. I know that, I live a good life too, because this is what we have here now. My friends, God bless you. Take care. I will talk to you again. Enjoy, and see you next time. Bye-bye.